And now, please direct your attention to the main screen for a special video presentation from the CEO and founder of Velas, Alexander Alexandrov.
The rise of Bitcoin. We were told the age of decentralization, efficiency, and scalability had arrived. But despite later innovations, many of these promises remain unfulfilled. Most networks are controlled by a few miners, who don't always act in everyone's best interest. Even established projects like Bitcoin and Ethereum are running at maximum capacity, which hurts their efficiency. If the blockchain world wants to deliver the benefits it promised, it's time to evolve. That's what Velas has done. Velas is a self-learning and self-optimizing platform for secure, interoperable, extremely scalable transactions and smart contracts. Our network can process over 30,000 transactions per second, a level of efficiency no other project has matched. The Velas delegated proof-of-stake algorithm runs on a layer of AI-optimized neural networks to stay fully decentralized and at a much lower cost. Block producers are selected by artificial intuition to guarantee all operators are adequately rewarded. With the rise of Bitcoin, we were told the age of decentralization, efficiency, and scalability had arrived. But despite later innovations, many of these promises remain unfulfilled. Most networks are controlled by a few miners, who don't always act in everyone's best interest. Even established projects like Bitcoin and Ethereum are running at maximum capacity, which hurts their efficiency. If the blockchain world wants to deliver the benefits it promised, it's time to evolve. That's what Velas has done. Velas is a self-learning and self-optimizing platform for secure, interoperable, extremely scalable transactions.
Yeah, so we're having some problem with the video. I'm not sure why it keeps restarting, so maybe I'll just go to my presentation and cover it in my actual presentation forward. Okay. All right, so a bit about myself. I'm the founder of Coin Payments Inc., which is the largest and first altcoin payment processor in the world that started in 2013. Been in this business since about 2011 in crypto as a whole. And now I'm the founder of Velas, which is the Virtual Expanding Learning Autonomous System, or VLX for short. The idea behind it is to create a system that is leveraging our current community of 3 million users that Coin Payments has right now and expand it by unifying what we tried to achieve with Coin Payments since 2013, which is service the entire ecosystem of cryptocurrencies, not just one coin or two, like a lot of our competitors have decided to focus on at the beginning. And that task is not easy. And if anybody of you was here for my panel, you probably would remember some of the things I said. And one of them was that running nodes and multiple wallets, it's quite a cumbersome task. And right now, there's nothing that exists that unifies all the different cryptocurrencies into one single layer or allows some sort of seamless interaction other than exchanges or coin payments. And the problem with that is that it's still a centralized service, and it doesn't quite accomplish the task that what we set out to do with Velas. So what is Velas? There's a little bit of our team. Alex is here. You actually saw him today. He's here as well. I'll jump to the main point. So blockchains currently still have problems. So what are those problems? Let's just kind of quickly go over it. So decentralization is a bit of an issue that we see with mining. Of all the coins that are mineable, we've noticing the mining pools start popping up over the years, which led to this pyramid type thing where less and less mining pool, more and more hashing power, more industrialized approach to mining itself, not so much like Satoshi envisioned where each individual is running their computer to contribute, but more so big corporations and private interests are now really investing their money into mining ecosystem, which makes it quite vulnerable to 51% attacks and anything associated with that. Most of the blockchains right now having some sort of problems with scalability as well. some of the latest blockchains, like EOS, has solved a lot of the issues, and I'll touch on that in a second. They've scaled up quite good, but I still, with their use of delegated proof of stake, I believe it still leads to a bit of a centralization because people have to vote for a node on the network to be delegated to produce the blocks, and there's only 21. Most of these people know each other, and people who had large holdings of coins who were there early just kind of vote for themselves, and so it doesn't really produce the best outcome for the network long term. So you still have people making decisions, and as great of the software it is, I personally believe that blockchain needs to operate on its own entirely, and every time you can eliminate the human factor from the blockchain, I believe it benefits the whole ecosystem, and this is what we're trying to achieve with Velis. So at the beginning there was Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin first came around, it was a game changer. It was the first decentralized project that the world has really taken seriously, and that really opened up the whole new industry and all new innovation, and kind of led people to start investing into it and investigating it and learning about it. I mean, before 2009, if you talk to somebody about cryptography or decentralization, people just would have no clue what you're talking about. And even now, there's only 1% of people in the world that are using Bitcoin, right? It's kind of the same stats as in the 90s for the internet, in the early 90s. So we're still in these infancy stages, but Bitcoin was first. And then it came Ethereum, which introduced smart contracts to the way that people really kind of got to know them as an ERC-20 and ICO crowdfunding, and all this. The DAO was kind of a disaster, but it was an attempt of trying to run autonomous organizations on the blockchains for the first time. And then EOS is now coming out, and it's really improved on a lot of things, and it's definitely a step forward in the right direction, because now it's no longer just like 21 transactions a second max, but it actually does go to pretty good scalability. So the scalability is quite reliable there. I just have a problem with the a bit of a consensus model or governance model. So with Velis, what we decided to do is try a completely different approach to the problem, and that is take an artificial intuition. Artificial intuition, and let me focus on that for a second, as I was on a panel with Alex Lightman, who actually co-wrote the white paper with me on Velis. We kind of didn't have time to cover this, but the difference between artificial intuition and artificial intelligence needs data, fast processing power, and deep learning to understand what it is thinking about and train itself on the answers. Our intuition is kind of like a single-cell organism. When it's born, it just knows how to eat, how to breed, and what to do. It doesn't have schools, it doesn't have parents, it's not being taught anything as it grows up. It just intuitively knows what to do because it has receptacles with which it interacts with the world, so it can feel around and kind of navigate through life. Well, artificial intuition on a blockchain that we're building is similar to that. We're creating systems in which the decision-making of the blockchain itself is dedicated to artificial intuition, which will constantly monitor all the aspects on the blockchain, like transaction speed, block time production, basically everything associated with who is mining it, who is delegated to be the proof of stake node, based on what is best for the network at all times, which reduces the cost, it accelerates the blockchain scalability, it allows to eliminate humans entirely from the equation. You basically have a smart blockchain truly sort of making its own decisions. And that is, to me, is the most exciting thing about Velis, that we're able to now enter the world of a whole new step forward where even if essentially we don't succeed, somebody else will now come and do this. I do believe we will, but I also believe that this new movement of combining AI with blockchain is the future to solve a lot of the governance issues that we're facing currently in the blockchain. Now, how does AI learns from itself? So the way it works in our current system, I'm not going to get too technical because I'm going to lose all the audience here, but what I want to say, what's exciting about Velis outside of the actual AI aspect of it and the complexity of how it operates is the container system. So what's missing right now in the blockchain world, as I started my speech with, is the browser. or the killer app, you may call it, however you want to look at it. There's a lot of cryptos out there. There's a lot of different coins trying to do different things, but they're all kind of going opposite way of each other. So you have this whole industry just sort of like a firework. Everybody's trying to different things. There's nothing that combines it all together. So with Velis, what we want to do is we want to create off-chain, on-chain solution for all these coins. So what it allows to do is you'll be allowed to take Bitcoin and deposit it into your Velis wallet inside of a container, and then choose if you want to send it privately or publicly inside the Velis network at the speed of 30,000 transactions a second with AI optimizing the network. And you can do that. When you can do that, and you can add all these other coins natively supported, absorbing it into another chain, you basically create an ecosystem that unifies all the coins that are existing right now. And why do you need that? Well, if you have containers to unify all the coins and AI to power it, you can build a free decentralized exchange within the wallet that's truly peer-to-peer with nobody in the middle operating on the blockchain. So you just put for sale your Bitcoin in a container, somebody offers you Ripple or whatever you're trading it for, that executes automatically. Step forward, when you want to buy something online, the vendor only accepts Ripple as an example, or vendor only accepts EOS. But you have Velis, Litecoin, Bitcoin. Well, in your Velis wallet, you can then pay, and automatically the system will go through the peer-to-peer exchange and output the exact coin that the merchant is taking, and you never have to worry about having appropriate coins. So now you just integrated all these coin aspects, all the merchants that are interested in coins with one single system that completely unifies all this layer. So then it's not an idea of what coin you have, but what has value. And if it has value, then you can spend it. And that will be automated by the entire system. Additionally to that, Velis will empower a lot of smart contracts, and it will allow people to download the latest sample of the swarms of AI that are running on the nodes, and you'll be able to train them to do your tasks, which will make AI really accessible to the public. And then once you train it to find the music you like, you can upload it back to the network and sell it as a service for Velis. So it's basically like a two-way marketplace for artificial intuition that is constantly being trained and educated by the nodes that are contributing to the network. So it's kind of like an open network to train the perfect neural network for a response on a single cell organism level for any particular task that you can then expand and build whatever services you may like. So smart homes, any kind of optimizations for, smart cars or drones or whatever you want to do in the future that has a smart function, you'll be able to plug Velis into it and benefit from its intelligence that is kind of harnessed through everybody contributing their computation power and actually achieve something great versus just mining SHA-256 and warming up their warehouses and trying to dispose of the heat. So, I think I'm out of time. If you have any more questions, I'll be here. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.